You have another one?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, please ask.
You spoke on the genetic processes, and that
Yes.
what you only said was that that is where the just where the wet gas is being formed, the genetic stage. So I just want to know, is there like any other effect it has on reservoir quality?
You see, the diagenesis we are talking about here now is the diagenesis that has to do with a source rock. You understand? You know, is the production, I mean, the generation of hydrocarbon, which essentially takes place within your source rock. Do you understand? You know, oil is generated within the source rock. So your reservoir rock diagenesis has nothing to do with the source rock diagenesis.
You say it has no effect on reservoir quality, or
it won't have any effect. It won't have any effect
on reservoir quality.
Yes, at that stage, it is dealing with the source rock, which is your shale and shale alone. You know, otherwise there wouldn't be any need to have your migration of the secondary migration we are talking about. Really, there are some rock, like if they are parasequence, like the one we have in Niger Delta. You know, the Agbada formation. It has both the source and the reservoir, but the essential source rock we have in Agbada, I mean Niger Delta, is the Akata. You know, do you understand? So most often, of course, the diagenesis of the Agbada would have taken, I mean, Akata would have taken place before you have the diagenesis of the Agbada formation. One is at the one is at the base, the other one is at the top. Do you understand?
So you're saying that two diagenesis process used to occur, one at the source rock and one at the reservoir rock, Abi?
Yeah, exactly. The diagenesis we are talking about here has to do with diagenesis taking place within the source rock. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question, please? Iwa?
I have a question.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by short chain hydrocarbon chain to long chain hydrocarbon as it proceeds towards the
Yes. Yeah, if you look at the second material I sent to you, it has to do with the properties of hydrocarbon. When you talk about hydrocarbon, your hydrocarbon, there are three phases. You have the gas, this is the natural gas. You have the oil. You now have which you refer to as the liquid. Then you now have the solid or the semi-solid, right? The gas has the carbon chain between C1 to C4. The liquid has C5 to 6, 9, 6, 10. Then from C11 and above, they are referred to as long chain hydrocarbon. That is why you have the natural bitumen, all those asphalts. That's where you have them. You understand? Is the total number of carbon chain. For instance, you have for C1 to C4, they are just 4 carbon chain. Okay. But for the from C1 and C11 and above, you know that you have a carbon chain of about 11 there. So that is what I meant. That, mind you, there are some that are short chain that can be converted to long chain. These are the liquid. That is the natural crude oil. Because it is within that your C5 to C10 that you have your petrol, let me just say the natural, I mean the conventional crude oil. So if it is not well annexed and it flows to the surface, it becomes exposed. A lot of things can happen to it. But one of the things that will happen is that bacteria will feed on it. Because the shorter the chain, the lighter the hydrocarbon. So instead of being light again, because it has been fed on by the bacteria, it converts it to long chain hydrocarbon. All the volatiles would have gone there. So you will now be left with the ones that are not that mobile, that will form the residue. What will happen? And that's why I use the Dahomey Basin as an example. That within the Dahomey Basin, the same formation, you are having two different hydrocarbon types. If you move towards Badagry, you have the short chain there. That's why Falawiyo and Co can be producing the crude oil. But if you move towards Ogun, Lagos, Lagos, because Badagry is part of Lagos. But what I meant is the boundary between that Ekpe axis now to Ijebu-Ode, down to Ondo State, even to part of Edo State, you are not going to see a light chain hydrocarbon, but rather you have the long chain hydrocarbon there in form of tar, bitumen. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand now.
That is the chemistry of hydrocarbon. Just, have you done organic chemistry before?
Yes, I've done organic chemistry.
Oh, okay. You must have been told now. So all those things, at least part of it. So any other question, please? Any other question? Giwa, you have not asked any question. Now, what's the problem? You assume that everything is okay? Giwa? Is Giwa still there or has it gone home?
Sir, I'm here.
It's okay. So,
Yes,
as Dr. Patola told you the structure of the exam?
No, sir. They have not told us.
Well, it is always, I think it has always been 5 questions you answer for, so, or maybe we make it 6 this time around, and you answer 4. So that's it. We were thinking that it's going to be, because originally we were told that it's going to be MCQ. So, and I was wondering, how can the graduates in the making now be doing MCQ at this level? Well, just this week now, we were told that no, it's going to be 100 and 200 level that will be doing MCQ. That all the Agbalagbas are going to do their normal examination. So you are going, yes.
Sir, but it's going to be, they reduce the time, so.
For which one?
For the exams, it's not more 3 hours, it's 2 hours. So I don't know if you reduce the question for us.
Sure, now, of course, the volume of what we are expecting from you is going to be function of the time allowed now.
Okay.
Yes. So technically speaking, you are going to use 30 minutes on the question. God, definitely you are going to answer 4 questions. I'm listening.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Sir, but the what would I even say? The conclusion about the physical exam and everything, it came late, sir. It got to us.
You said what?
So, the conclusion about the physical exam, sir.
Yes.
So we our expectation was an online, exam. And
But
we had,
university management has overruled you now that they said that you are going to come, you have to be there physically.
So will there be any fair play in the questions?
Sure, now of course we are not oblivious of the conditions surrounding this your exams now. Definitely. I mean, there's no way one can be heartless to the point of saying that the standard of when when all things being equal will be the same thing that when this abnormality we have been experiencing in the whole world since last year. Of course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
So the absence of, yes.
I was going to have another class.
Eh?
I was going to have another class.
If there is need, if you want another class, and then you tell me what you want me to come and talk about again.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So you, if you want, let me know. Otherwise, what you've had is enough for you to have A.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah, yes, it's enough. It's enough. Just do your own bit there. I can assure you of that.
All right, sir.
Yeah. So
your part has finished now because.
Yes, that is. I'm just to teach you. Ordinarily, the way it's done is for me to teach the origin, comb migration, hydrocarbon. What am I saying? Reservoir rock. But I told you earlier that, of course, I've even told you before now, the reason why the thing is loop-sided, just because of my health challenge, which I thank God at least I'm much better now. So,
sorry about that, sir.
Yes. So we as Patola, as I told him to do that, and he told me he has done it. But you are the one who will let me know if it has been done the way you want. Otherwise, if there is need for me to come on. Yes.
Sir, which part exactly?
Contouring, no.
He stopped at the
contouring.
Yes, he hasn't taught you. That's the area he's supposed. In fact, that's one of the areas he's supposed to have taught. It's one of the areas that is have been allotted to him for years now.
You say we should go and read on it.
On contouring, I will talk to him. He has to find time to teach you. He has to find time to teach you. Unfortunately, I know it's a challenge. You see, it's just like teaching 315 now. Advanced map interpretation, it has been very difficult. 211, 201 before has been very difficult. You see, I think that is the reason why it's not too buoyant now to teach you that. But I will tell him whatever he can do to at least to find a way around that, because when you go out of the university, nobody wants to know that it is the peculiarity of the moment that has denied you of that knowledge. No. So he has to do that. He has to do that. Don't worry, I will plead with him. Your exam is still about 3-4 weeks from now.
Excuse me, sir.
3 weeks, sir.
3 weeks, okay? At least maybe one Saturday can still be fixed for you. After all, it's the 200 level and the 100 level that will first start their own. So your lectures can still continue. So I will tell you. I'm sure he'll find a way to get back to you.
Hello, sir.
If there are problems, don't worry.
Yeah, sir, concerning our CA, what are we going to use for our CA?
Has he conducted any test?
CA, sir.
Has he conducted any test with you for you people?
None at all.
He gave us an assignment which we've submitted already.
And that's it. On what?
He told us to define some terms, I think like 10 terms or something.
So submitted online or you submit? Is it online?
So he told us to submit online. I think he also told us in the last class that we have to, I think, print it and bring it when we are coming to school for our physical exam.
Is that what?
You told us to bring the assignment. Bring the assignment to school.
You told us to bring it to school.
Oh, during the exam?
When we are coming for the...
Is it during the exam?
For the paper, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, maybe I should add something to it so that you can have
I think
very
this one is
robust
okay. This one is okay, sir.
I should not add anything.
Sir,
You can give us an assignment, sir.
Sir, that assignment
That's
is
what
good,
I'm
sir.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I said I should add some. Maybe I will have to add something to it. Okay. Don't worry. I will send you something on the platform so that you can do that way against the exam as well. So when you come, you submit.
Sir, give us assignments, sir.
When you come, you submit at least. That one will be a bonus to every one of you. Don't worry, you do very well. I can assure you of that. Do very well. Just read all what you have there. And there are two diagrams associated. You probably have those diagrams on the slides of the production. I mean, the origin of the hydrocarbon, as I've stated. The what's it called? This window kitchen thing. Because if I ask you a question, I will expect you to even write the question there. I will include into your question that with a supportive diagram or diagrams, you have now put the question there. Is that understood?
No, sir.
All right, sir. Sir, I didn't hear you.
We didn't hear you very well.
I said the diagrams you have with your on those slides, make sure you understand and then you get acquainted with each of them. That if I'm going to ask questions, that I will expect you to have a supportive diagram or diagrams, as the case may be, to answer your questions. Question is going to be 30 minutes. So as a matter of fact, I don't want any rhetorics. Just go straight. Maybe a question should not be more than 1.5 pages. It's okay. And get out of it there. Is that understood?
I didn't hear you, sir.
1.5 pages.
All right.
You said what are the what? Somebody was asking a question, a lady.
Once 1.5 page for a question.
Yes. I said you can write more than that, but you see, I'm not constraining you. If you have 30 minutes of answering your question, of course, you can. If you are writing very well, fine. But some people will just bore you with nonsensical write-ups, and then what is the use? Do you understand? You can be brief and yet capture the whole thing, whereas you see some writing volumes and then when you look at the whole thing, nothing. So that's what I'm saying in essence. I'm not saying you should not write whatever you know. You write whatever you know, but just write to point. Don't write out of context. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
It's okay. I think it's a safe point. If you deem fit that you want to ask any question, at least you can always reach me, and either using my own personal WhatsApp or the general platform. No problem. I would attend to you.
Okay, sir.
So, but I will get across to you on that so that you can get that done. It's all right. If there is a need for me to change the approach of your CA, we will have a Zoom meeting. I will let you know if anything contrary. But I don't think there will be anything contrary to what we have decided. Is that okay?
Okay.
So it's all right. So
All right, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sir.
I think it's a good point to wish you a very wonderful weekend and wishing you a huge success in the forthcoming exam. Yes.
Before we end, truth be told, we are taught that as a part of in year 3. Although we still need this revision. So I said, truth be told, we're taught the isopac map in year 3.
Okay.
So, but although it's one that taught us the map in year, Spark map in year 3, but we still need the revision.
Who taught you that?
Dr. Batola taught us Isopac map in year 3.
All right.
Which he told us to revise, but we still need the revision from him because there's maybe a lot that we don't need to remember very much.
That's what I said. I'm going to take it upon myself to find a means of doing that. He has to have a class to meet you. I have told the problem, the challenge he has is it's really difficult to teach online. Teaching practicals. It was a tug of war. In fact, I needed to go. How do I put it now? Just like teaching primary one pupil. The way I just ask from those who are doing 315, I needed to be doing that. In fact, I simplify so much that nobody could even ask a question. Nobody, I'm not even having any class with them because there's no problem at all. So maybe I will try to tell him that to do some step-by-step approach so that you people can go through it. And then if there is any need now to come together to discuss it with you, that would be much easier and simpler. So I will get across to him today to do that. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. Maybe he doesn't have the mind of giving you in the exam, perhaps. But I'm not preempting. I don't know what he has in mind. But personally, I wouldn't ask a question that I have not on something I've not taught. I more so that the peculiarity of this season is not even, doesn't call for that. So yeah, I will see you then. Any question, any other problem, just reach me on my WhatsApp or the general platform. Is that okay?
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.